Welcome back to another episode of Fisticuff Central. Today is going to be quite a brief one. We're just going to cover the main event of the UFC fight night coming up tonight, which is Cannonier versus Caio Borralho. So this should be quite a fun matchup. You know, both guys are predominantly stand-up fighters. Both have got quite good power. I think I would give the power advantage to Cannonier, but I would say that Caio's got potentially the speed advantage. You know, we saw in Caio's last performance against Paul Craig, he did really well, ended up getting the finish. Paul Craig actually looked like he improved his stand-up significantly, from what he was multiple fights ago, where he was exclusively just looking for the takedown and looking to pull guard. And he looked decent. You know, it's still difficult to tell where Caio's at. He's not really fought the elite of the division, and Jared kind of falls slightly into that elite bracket. You know, he's not the best 185er, but he's been hanging around that top 5 region for quite a number of years now. So we got to give some credit to Cannonier. And Cannonier, even though he lost his last fight to Imavov, I think, I don't know, the more I think about it, because of his age, he's 40 years of age now, and he's just lost his last fight. I was about to give him some credit and say that he might win this fight, but I think it's a difficult upwards battle just because of the fact that, being a middleweight at 40 is not the same as being a heavyweight at 40. You know, the lighter you are, typically, the quicker you age within the sport of mixed martial arts. And I think that's going to be really to his detriment in this fight. So how do I see this fight going? Personally, I think that Caio will probably just piece him up a little bit. You know, at the start, Jared might be a little fresher. He might end up hitting him, with some big shots potentially. But I think he'll most likely gas. I just think that he's getting to the age where he's not going to be able to sustain a high level of fitness. And I think that's going to be his downfall in this fight. It's going to be the conditioning. It's going to be Caio pressing the pace. I don't think Caio's got like great head movement, so he's hittable. So there is a possibility that Cannonier knocks him out, especially in the earlier rounds of the fight. I just think it's unlikely. I think in these scenarios, you typically go with the younger fighter. The wolf climbing the hill is hungrier than the wolf that's on top of it. There's that famous saying, and I think for the most part it's true. I saw a statistic saying that when there's a significant age difference, like 66% of the time the younger fighter wins. So in all probability, Caio Borralho is going to win this fight. I think it'll be a finish, TKO. I don't think it'll be a clean knockout unless Jared gets really tired and then, he's already been hurt a couple of times and Caio just pops in and, finishes the job with like one big shot. I could see a knockout like that. I don't see Caio knocking out Jared when he's fresh. Jared is quite tough. He's fought a heavyweight, a light heavyweight. He's had the majority of his UFC career at middleweight, and the guy's an absolute specimen. He went from looking like having a dad bod and typical UFC heavyweight, I suppose, to being one of the most shredded and jacked guys in the UFC. So it's quite a transformation, to be honest. It's remarkable, really. So that pretty much wraps it up for me. It's quite a short episode, and next week's might be a little bit longer, and then after that we've got the Sphere coming up, which is going to be an exciting event. I'm really looking forward to that. And thank you very much for watching. Have yourself a great evening and a great rest of your bank holiday weekend, and I will catch you next week.